Okay, y'all, so let me show you real quick. I make mashed potatoes about 3 different ways. But my son and my daughter, even though she is already married and left home, they can't have milk. So I have made mashed potatoes with milk. I made mashed potatoes with almond milk, and I can also make them with chicken broth. Out of all of the ones where we have to not use milk, chicken broth is probably the better of all of them. So this is probably about roughly 6 to 8 russet potatoes, peeled, boiled to fork tender. And then I put about a half a stick to a whole stick of butter, real butter, depending on, you know, how much butter you want in there. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of kosher salt and, you know, pepper. So you just season to taste on that. Okay. Now, I've already got my chicken broth here. I've got about 3 cups. That way I'd have enough. I don't really know how much I use. 3 cups is probably too much. But that's it. That's all it takes. If you want a little bit creamier, you can put a little bit of sour cream in it, a little bit of cream cheese, or a little bit of mayonnaise. I know that sounds kind of gross, but mayonnaise will also work. A lot of people in the South use it. But if you just give the potatoes a second after you've poured your broth in, give them just a second to absorb the liquid, because it may not be too much. We like our mashed potatoes lumpy, and some people don't. They like them creamed. So at this point, you would get your mixer out and mix them until they're creamed together, but that's it. Real quick mashed potatoes. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a broccoli casserole. You need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you need to lightly spray a 9x13 baking dish and set it aside. And we're going to go ahead and get our mixture together. You can use frozen broccoli that you thawed, or you can steam some broccoli. I had some fresh and I went ahead and just cooked it real quick and chopped it up. It was a way for me to get rid of it. You're going to need a can of cream of chicken soup. You're going to need about a cup of sour cream. Okay. Alright. All that up a little. And you're going to need 1.5 cups of cheddar. All this is going to go in. Right. And you're going to need some pepper, some onion powder, some garlic salt, okay, 9x13 baking dish spray. We're going to put this in it. Alright, I'm going to spread this out, and we're going to put some stovetop stuffing or dressing mix or stuffing mix over the top of this. Sorry about that. But you could also do Ritz crackers if you prefer. This is the 6-ounce box size. And then you're going to pour about 1.5 cups of chicken broth over the top. Okay. And all right, that's it. We're going to cook this for 30 to 40 minutes at 350. And it should be ready to go. I will let you see it when it comes out. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product right out of the oven. I did kind of get a little dibble, and it tastes fine. And I'm not even a big fan of broccoli. So it did pretty well. I did add a little bit extra broth than what the recipe calls for, so I needed to note that in case you wanted to do that. It did not affect the recipe at all. In fact, I think it made it a little bit more moist. It was just about 1/2 cup more than what the recipe called for, and I think it did better with that. Hey y'all, we are going to try a green bean casserole. Holidays are coming up, and we're kind of sorting through recipes to see if there's some things that we would like to try. So I found this one. It was on Pinterest. It's called the Best Green Bean Casserole. It does not have mushroom soup in it. So that's a plus for some people that don't like it. The first thing I want to say is that the recipe calls for fresh green beans, and I'm going to do my favorite canned green beans. We like the Hanover brand. That's our favorite. They're white. They're a white label. They're really good. So we're going to skip a step just for that sheer purpose there. And right now I've got a medium saucepan here. I've got it on low. I melted 2 tablespoons of butter, and I need to add some garlic. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of that. And you literally have to cook it for like about a minute. Just warm up the garlic a little bit. Okay. Alright, now our next little thing that we got to do is we got to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So let's do that. Let me get my spoon washed off here. 2 tablespoons. You need to start whisking it. And you need to do it pretty, don't just whisk and walk away. You need to stay right here with it. I did turn the heat up just slightly, so it's not on simmer, but it's a little bit higher. Not medium high, probably a medium heat. And what you're making is a roux. I may put just a tad bit more flour in there because it looks like it's just a little bit too wet. Anybody that makes gravy kind of knows what the consistency should look like. So you need it kind of a sludgy, dry kind of thing. That's a little bit better. Okay. 1 minute. So we already got that done. The next thing you need to add is some chicken broth. I need about half of this. I don't need all of it. Okay. I probably poured in just a teeny bit too much. So what you need to be doing and focusing on is when you added the broth, your flour mixture kind of clumped up a little bit. You need to make sure that all that's smoothed out and blended. Sorry for all the noise, y'all. Let's see if you could see right here, it's caking up around my pan, and it's doing it on both sides. So I need to fix that and then go back at it again. Okay. Stir and cook for 3 minutes. this way back down on low again on about a 2. Now, what you need to do next is you need to pour in your half and half or your whole milk. I do not have half, but I do have heavy whipping cream. So we're going to do 1 1/4 cups. Now it's going to be a little bit rich, but it's what I had on hand, so should still work fine. Now, what you're waiting for this to do is thicken up. You're making like a chicken gravy. So we gotta cook it about 10 minutes or so, let it thicken up, and we'll cut it back up behind just a little bit. You don't want your milk or cream or whatever it is that you put in there to spoil. If it does, it's still edible, but you don't want it to. You don't want it to clabber. Okay, so while that is thickening up, we're waiting on that. I used a 3-pound can. I'm not sure what that is in ounces because it was 3 pounds something of green beans, and we put it in 9 by 13. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit here and wait for your sauce to thicken up. That's what we're waiting to happen. And we don't do anything else except for season the sauce, pour the sauce over the green beans, put the French fried onions on top. I did read where Holly, the author, said that the more onions on top of the better. So I don't, I've never really liked green bean casserole. So, and I like actual mushroom soup. So I don't know how this is going to taste, but I will try to put a little bit more than what she calls for. She calls for a cup. And I bought 6 ounces. So we should be able to put a cup on there. Should be a little bit more than a cup. I can do that. So it'll be just a few more minutes and I'll show you the finished product. On that. I had to put Norman away. Okay, so ready for your holiday meals with green bean casserole. It's done without mushrooms and without mushroom soup, so it may be actually better. You may actually get your guests to eat more of it. So I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It was real easy and it thickened up in the oven. Real easy, quick, and you could do it really any time of the year. See y'all next time.